Eagle versus chicken. To be an eagle, it's probably the hardest positioning we can take. A lot of times we think that we have to agree with everyone, we have to go along with the program, we have to fit in, we have to compromise. I call it dilly dallying, but it's a made up mind. It's a mind that says, I'm going to stand strong on my internal conviction, and no matter what, I'm not going to break. Now, I'm not talking about issues and sins and stuff like that. God already took care of that on the cross, and um, our goal is to be holy because God is holy, to live a clean life. But we're gonna, as long as we're in this flesh, we're gonna have areas where we are weak, where it might not reflect. It doesn't reflect who God is because we know He's perfect. But what God really wants to do while we're in the earth, He wants a place where He can rule from. He wants a place where He has power and authority. And it's not easy, and we're all going through this journey, but God rules from inside of us. God rules from in our hearts. The only way for God to truly show His power and glory and might and who He is in the earth is from inside of our hearts. So the truth, we are a manifestation of God. We humans are God's hands, our mouth, our feet, our hands. Sorry, not hands twice, but we are the vessel that God rules through. Now, if we don't create an atmosphere for Him to rule from, and I'm not talking about speaking in tongues, because speaking in tongues does nothing for nobody else but you. Okay? I'm not talking about, emotionally needing to feel God and run around the church and jumping over benches. That's all great and fun, and it's I mean, it's a good feeling, but it's God is bigger than feelings. The greatest thing about God is the invisible thing about God, the stuff you can't touch, feel, handle, or see. That's your faith. That's walking in true power. To access your faith, you don't speak in tongues to make you confident in your faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. So if you think because people fall on the ground and speak in tongues and run all over the church and everybody's going crazy that you're blessed, you're anointed, God is with you, oh my God, you just missed Jesus. Because I never saw Jesus drop on the ground. I never saw Him flatter all over the place. Yes, it feels good. I would love to get that experience every day, but God is like, no, that's babysitting. He's like, I don't want to have to touch you and make you feel something for you to believe me, for you to know I'm with you, for you to know that you're my chosen child. You're going to believe me with nothing, because there's nothing in faith but just believing in God. It's an invisible power. Faith is our invisible power, and that's what God wants us to exercise. Not exercise speaking in tongues. And tongues are great. You do it in your room. You do it if God want to use it in the church to do a witness. Those are all great. It's all in the Bible. I'm not fighting that. My point is that we need to be solid internally. We need to get so strong where God, who is all powerful, almighty, can manifest. Because if we are like babies inside, God can't come for a baby, because when I say baby, not a child, I'm talking about like if we're so weak and we can't, we just struggle with everything and we can't stand strong and we run from every battle, and we do, we dodge, we hide, we stay in our church, we stay in our comfortable world, we stay in our secure environments. That doesn't exercise God showing His power to the world through you, because you're in a comfortable world. God want to be able to push us out into the deep. He want to be able to push us out into the world. He want to be able to push you in the midst of worldly people, and you being encouraged in Him because of what's built in you. Not that you have to always run to church and get people to pat you on your back. I mean, when Mandela was in jail, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what that man was going through? He had to have a faith that was like a rock, because he wasn't getting that babysitting in church, in like the church gives you. He wasn't, he didn't have all the things that we have around us. He had to have a faith in God where that inner man just get built in him, where God can now rule through him, and he survived and came out with power and authority and showed the true strength of who God is. We think that if we're like, oh, Jesus, praise the Lord, and we say everything so humble. Humility is not how soft you speak. Humility is a position of the heart. When God break you and process you, you think Mandela being in jail wasn't death for him? That was God removing anything in him that could be pride. And that's how I feel also about myself, is that all these years of God knows how to break us. God knew our fierce strength. God knew money was my strength, a husband was my strength, success was my strength, you know what I'm saying? Stability was my strength, being understood was my strength, having friends and people that understand me was my strength. And guess what? He broke them all down. He took them all away. And I felt every inch of it, and I fell apart, and I was a mess. And slowly but surely, it's taken years, I'm watching God teaching me how to rise without the stuff, how to rise without the friends, how to rise without the okay for my family and the respect and that I want for my family and the honor, how to rise without a ministry that you can see and touch and be able to say, oh, she has 5,000 people in her church. When you can count people, that's a strength, that's a security. When you do a ministry on the internet and you have 5,000 views and you live a life that you're not even, I don't market, you guys. I don't market. I just do my videos. I put them up. I put them on Facebook. People in Facebook don't even talk to me. Why? Because if people can't rule you and control you, or if they're intimidated by you, they stay away from you because they don't want to face truth. It's easy to avoid truth and justify and condemn it than to really listen to my videos and really say, oh my God, this girl is saying, she got something going on. She's saying, but people rather avoid it because it's easy just to be oblivious. Ignorant is bliss. But my point is that God is looking for some really solid, whole people. And to be that person is going to take an internal strength that you've probably never seen in yourself. Saying no to compromising. Saying no to security. Say, look, this is my conviction. God is with that girl, and I'm going to believe God for her. I'm going to stand on God for her. I'm going to pray for her. And I know God is with her and God is going to use her. I'll be honest to you, I struggle with people because people evaluate you according to where they are. They give you the portion of God that they've gotten. If they think God is a mess, they're going to give you that God is a mess. If they think God hasn't been with, God hasn't come through for them, they're going to tell you. It's like everything we experience from God, we actually pour it out to the world. And that's your journey, that's your truth, and I'm not knocking it. It's a position of your experience.